very gifted, and she's a lot of fun to work with. And she did a Mango sketch with me. It was a diva battle, Divas Live, Mango, J-Lo, or J-Ho, as I called her. That's what Mango called her anyway. And that was great. That was so much fun, and that was one of the better Mango sketches. And she was so fun to work with, J-Lo. J-Lo. She was still J-Lo back then. It's funny. She was not. She was going out with Puffy Daddy. Was she went out? No, she was going out with somebody else.
And
bodyguard. Not yet. No, this is pre-Healy. So she was going out with, I think, her bodyguard.
Or Casper the dancer when she was with Casper.
Yeah, right. That's right. And but she happened to be wearing Sean Puffy Combs sweats in dress rehearsal pre Puffy relationship. So I thought that was interesting.
A little foreshadowing right there.
Exactly, right? And then Gigli and then Ben Affleck. And then all of a sudden they both wore a lot of creme Lamar moisturizer.
That's always good too. What about, like you wrote a book, you worked like very regularly since you left SNL, but did you ever look back and wish you had stayed longer? Or like, we all look back at decisions we make. Like, were you ever like, oh, I should have stayed longer, or nothing like that?
Yeah, I mean, I could have stayed longer. I was in a long-term relationship, and I could have stayed longer at the time, but I didn't. I left at a time when I thought my characters ran out of steam, and most of my friends had left. Had left by then, Tina was still there. Fred Armisen just got there. Maya was still there, but my crew was like Will and Molly and Cheri and Norm and Spade and those guys. So those guys left, and and I thought, it's probably time to make room for others, another talent. And my dad was very ill, so I went to LA and to be by his side, for the coming years. And he passed away like about 8 years ago. So he's one of the founders of the Groundlings too, as well. So I was glad I did that. I think that was important. Family comes first.
Absolutely. It's true. And that is, kind of the same, one of the reasons you left Big Brother too, right? Wasn't someone sick?
Yeah. With the fact that you can't connect, you send letters, but you can't get anything back unless you become head of household. There's no way to receive a letter. They wouldn't let you know, even if someone was okay. Like if I said, "Can I please let me know?" Like my girlfriend Maria, I was like, "Can you let me know how Maria's doing?" And they wouldn't let me know until one day, finally, they gave me a thumbs up. After she wrote me an entire 3-page letter, I still never got it, and they just said thumbs up. And I was like, that could mean a lot of things.
That could mean a lot of things. Was she happy, like when you came home, or was she like, "Don't worry about me"?
She got on the next flight, so yeah.
That's good. Speaking about reality TV shows, I know you didn't last very long, but that's okay. What was Dancing with the Stars like, and how was that experience?
Oh, yeah, that was a good experience. Dancing with Whitney Carson was great. She was a great teammate, and I had a blast working with her. I had an injury on that show, not on the show, but I had an injury prior to that. I injured myself on Saturday Night Live. I broke my neck, and I didn't tell anyone about it because, it was back in the day when I just didn't want to really get into, I didn't want to be taken off the team, so to speak. I wanted to keep going, like the show must go on. So, and I'm one of those guys that just keeps going and keeps going. And, now I'm fine. There was years of not being able to work because of that injury, which was too bad. But, now I'm in fantastic health because I take care of myself and physical therapy and all that stuff. So, but, that the judges were like, "You move like a robot," and I was like, "Well, there's a reason." Um, so but I had a great time on that show. I couldn't believe how hard those dancers work. They were like incredible. God, they worked so hard.
That is what I hear. And I hear that if you get your steps off, that there's no coming back from that. Like it's just.
Yeah, it's like doing a Broadway musical. I did a Broadway musical with Nathan Lane, and Susan Stroman was the director. And it was new music by Sondheim, of all people. It was called Frogs. And we did that at the, I forgot the name of the venue. It was on Broadway, but I don't remember the name of the theater. But we that was the way the dancers worked, how hard they worked was incredible. I had such an admiration for them. It was incredible how hard they worked, and that was so impressive to see how hard they worked.
Would you ever go back to Dancing with the Stars if they called for you to come back? They do bring people back. They have like these all-star seasons, whether you're voted off first or win. Would you ever go back?
I never thought about that. I don't know. Maybe maybe I would. It depends. Who else is it there? Who else to have fun with? I like to do things less for myself and more for a team. That's what I like to do.
You need to be on a good reality TV show with a team, not Big Brother, no backstabbing.
Yes, I rather do film and television. I like to be on a good, funny television show with friends that I've worked with before. That's what I'd love to do.
Well, listen, another night at the Roxbury, this is what's going to happen. So you're going to be busy for a minute, but after that, you can be on a TV show.
Okay.
What about I Wish It Was Christmas Today, which was great. You and Fallon and Tracy Morgan and Horatio Sanz. What was it like years later when you were joined by Miss Ariana Grande?
Oh, that was great. She just perched her little hands on my shoulders, and she just was there. I mean, I was like, oh wow, Ariana Grande, that's so cool. And every so often we DM each other, and she'll say Merry Christmas and stuff, or Happy Halloween and stuff. She always adds and stuff. And I thought that's very cute. And she's a very dear, sweet girl. I always thought she's very cool and such an incredible voice. I really like her a great deal. I think she's very talented. And I never knew how much musicians love comedians. It's probably as much as comedians love musicians, probably the same thing.
And you still get text from her that says happy whatever holiday and stuff.
Yeah, I'll get a hello here and there, something like that for sure. Yeah, it's great.
And she adds and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes, depending on the holiday.
That's funny. Speaking of that, right? Because I do think musicians love comedians. Like, have you ever met someone where it's like, oh my God, like a Harrison Ford, like this person is a huge fan of Mango, or besides Robert Pattinson. Have you ever met anyone else where you're just like, wow, this person watches SNL or knows me from my movies and they're just such a huge fan? Like, I never would have guessed this.
Yeah, Neil Young loved Peepers. That was a shock. You would have never have thought that. Bono liked Mango. That was interesting. There's always, it's just always, you're always taken aback when someone like that stature of that kind of a talent is a fan. You're always taken aback, and it's just so wild, the power of the media, and there's fans out there, and some of those fans can be your heroes sometimes, and that could really be something, and could really be something unique and special. So
absolutely. Bono liking Mr. Peepers. There you go.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to discuss? I mean, a huge shout out to your dates on the road. May, you are in Florida. You are in Colorado for April.
Yes, I'll be in Naples, Off the Hook in Florida, and I'll be in Colorado, and I'll be in throughout Florida. I'm doing a lot of dates in Florida, and
You're in
And then
Orlando, I think, also.
in Orlando, I think, in Tampa, I think. And also, if you go on my Instagram, which is Chris Kattan Official, there'll be, you know, some pop-ups of my dates that are coming up, of my show dates. It's called the Chris Kattan Takes the Bite Tour, is the name of the tour, and 2022.